Hi everyone, it's Karen, and I'm going to spend a little bit of time today doing a quick flip through of my finished art journal that I made from a traveler's notebook that originally was a monthly calendar, or had monthly calendar pages. And the pages were set up very strangely and exactly the same from month to month, and it was impossible to use as a regular calendar. So instead of wasting it, I wanted to do something different with it and use it. So I decided to use it up for an art journal. Now, it turns out it wasn't the perfect project or the perfect medium for doing art journaling on. The pages were not designed for art journaling. And I ended up gluing 2 pages together all the way through to use that as my base. But the pages were not the best. So that being said, I still wanted to make sure I used it. So the last thing I did with this was decorated the cover, and I did a very plain, simple decoration. I just used acrylic paints and stenciled with black acrylic paint. I think it was black acrylic paint, or was it marker? I don't remember which one I used. Anyway, it might have been marker. I used a stencil to label the cover of this. So I want to spend a little bit of time looking through each of the pages and talk about some of the lessons I learned while I was working on this. So this project, or this page, was the first one I did, and I used acrylic paints, and they're just the cheaper ones from Walmart and sale ones I found at Hobby Lobby or Michael's. They're just inexpensive acrylic paints. I used some stenciling on here as well, and I had some wallpaper border of horses, so I cut that out and included this gorgeous horse on here. And then the phrasing, what I did was I stamped it on tissue paper and then attached that, glued it to the page. It kind of blends into the background more than I would have liked, but oh well, so be it. Again, learning process. This is a page I really love. This page. I used watercolors, my Winsor & Newton set, and put a heavy layer of watercolor on here, and then covered it with saran wrap and made it all crinkly, and that results in this gorgeous texture look. And then I just printed out the text and glued it down, did a bit of border on it. I really love this page. I love this look. I think it just looks really, really neat. It's one of my favorite looks. Some of these pages are sticking. I'm gonna have to do something with this one. It's the paint I used on here. So this was done with acrylic paints, some stenciling, just some doodling. I used metallic paint in here, and that's the part where I'm finding that it's sticking a little bit. So a little bit of stamping here and there on the background, and a couple little, they were clear sticker, phrase stickers, so I popped those on there. This one I'm not sure about. I love the hearts. I didn't like what I did along the center here. The gold didn't really, this is not one of my favorite pages. All the decoration on here are wrappers from Rollo Packages. That's all it is. I saved a few and stuck them down here. I think that the hearts look neat. This I don't remember what I put over top of it, but the color was muted and lost on here as opposed to keeping it nice and shiny. So, oh well. This one, I like this one. It's just done with blue acrylic paints. I have a little punch that creates little snowflakes. I covered it with a little bit of metallic silver paint just to give it a little sparkle. Had this little saying I found online, and I did some dark in black stamps of snowflakes and then white splatter on it. And I quite like this page. I think it's kind of fun. This page was done using glimmer mists and a homemade spray that I had made out of Wilton Food Coloring. And I think I have a page on my channel somewhere where I show how I made that. I love this cat. I found this image online someplace and I printed it up. Oh goodness, quite a while back, and I cannot find it again. I have no idea where I found it. I suppose I could try to do a reverse image search, but I just haven't been able to find him again, and I think he's really adorable. But oh well. This page I used, so I think one of the only pages in this book that I used texture paste. All the others are fairly flat. I used Delusions sprays for the color, and also on I stamped these butterflies on tissue paper and then used a bit of Delusions spray to add the color. Some stamping in the background. I don't mind this page, it's not bad. This one, I think the book is starting to separate a little bit. Once I got to this point, oh, I missed that page. There we go, we missed a page, sorry. This one was done using my Neocolor crayons and some stamps. It was the colors I didn't quite like as well once it was finished, so I kind of muted it down a bit using gesso. That's the word I'm looking for. Using a bit of gesso to kind of mute it down a little bit and blend it a little bit better. But that was a fun way to experiment with some of the color. And then once I got to this point, I think I went to the back of the book. In hindsight, I probably should have been hopping around the book a little bit more, because we end up with some of the pages starting to lift and separate. The staple's not well attached here anymore. Oh well. So this is one of the last pages I did. It's using acrylic paint and some layered die cuts. Actually, they're not even layered ones. I just cut them out, the die cuts with the flowers, in 2 different colors, and then I just offset the second one so that I had the 2 layers for the floral. So it's kind of cute. And then I think I used not Neocolors. I either used the Neocolors or I used my what on earth is that called? Inktense pencils. Sorry, I was hunting around through my brain trying to remember what the name of these guys were. This is a page I don't quite like this now that it's on there. It was from a magazine. I like the background. I like the border on it. This was done in acrylics, using just a dark marker for a bit of a border. And I just don't quite like this decoration. I like the way the saying, things like that, but it's not my favorite. This is a page I enjoyed doing. Again, I was using acrylics, stenciling, and just adding a phrase on there that I liked. I'll explain in just a minute, but you can see that the book was starting to fall apart. That was because of this page. This page, I love the way it looks. I really love this page, but this was not the right book to use this technique on. I had a piece of lace fabric that I glued down, and then I used Delusions ink to apply the color, and the wet from this and using the Delusions that reactivated each time it got wet, I had ink seeping through all over the place. There's just way too much moisture on here, but I love the way it looks. I think it looks fantastic. It's something I think I'm going to try again to do this technique, but I'm going to use watercolor paper or at least mixed media paper. Maybe even on a canvas. But I do really like the technique. I think it looks really neat. I really like that. So you can see some of the color, all this blue, greeny blue in the background, that shouldn't be there. That was not there when this particular spread was completed. That's just seeped through from the colors on this side. Just came all the way through the page and stained this page. I don't think it went too much farther. No, that's as far as it went. And the same with this one. There were a lot of the blues and greens that seeped through here, which was why this page, I did this page first, this page I did after. And that's why I chose to use greens on here. You can even see some of like the lighter greeny colors on the edge here, the bluish green. That's just carryover from this page. I love the way it looks, but this was not the right kind of page to do this with. This page was done using, I just laid down a napkin that had these gorgeous orchids all over it, and then I just added some butterfly stickers to it, and a couple phrases, or a bit of a phrase that is from a sticker book that I had, or not a sticker book, a booklet of sticker phrases. So I like this book, or this page. I love orchids. They're probably one of my absolute favorite flowers, and I think this turned out really neat. And this is another page. I had so much fun doing this one. I just put little splotches of bright neon acrylic colors, a loud, bright page, and then I just outlined it. I think I used a chalkboard marker and outlined each of the color splotches, and then just did some abstract little designs on each of them. I love this page. I really, really like this page. It's one of my favorites in the whole book. This one was I just collaged a flower picture that I pulled out of a magazine. It's just using acrylic paint and the floral design on here. I've got different stamps for the background and a few phrases that was on they were on clear backing sticker pages, and I attached them to pieces of white paper and then attached that to that, so they had a little bit more of a background and showed up a little bit better with all the black shading and background. This is another one I really, really liked. It was using acrylic paints, some stamps that I had, and a few little die cuts. I had little die cuts of these bees and cut them out with black paper and on my die cutting machine, and then attached them down with a little phrase on it. This is another page, one of my favorite pages as well. And then this is the final page, and this I used acrylic paints around the edges, and then I also used a bit of Delusions ink and some Glimmer Mist spray. The leaves are all die cuts, the orangey colored leaves and all the stamps on there as well. So that is it. That is my completed art journal. A quick little flip through of that and all the pages that were in there. I had a really fun time working on this. There is I will include, I'll try to include a list of all the different videos. I had a video of each and every page in here. I'll either include those down in the description box below, or if you go into the process video playlist, you will find all of them. So I hope you enjoyed that. I'm looking forward to getting started on another art journal book and continue with this. I have a lot of fun with this. I'm by no means expert at this or anything like that. It's just something I just enjoy doing. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope to see you in future videos. Thank you so much for watching. I'd love it if you would like this video and subscribe to my channel. Would be fantastic. And I'll catch you guys again in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.